Hey guys, welcome to the Simplify Your Life podcast. It's Coach Simona and I'm glad you decided to tune in. What's up everyone? In today's podcast episode, we're going to talk about how to deal with neglect. And I will share with you 5 tips that will help you begin the process of healing from childhood emotional neglect. Now let's jump right into it. I want to begin this conversation by addressing something very important. When we talk about abuse, we rarely think about emotional abuse. And it's crucial to understand that emotional neglect can influence someone's life so profoundly that they may struggle with forming relationships as an adult, and that can even lead to anxiety or depression. So if you've been struggling with this for years, I doubt that listening to this podcast episode alone would be enough for you to heal such an intense trauma. In that case, I recommend seeking the help of a therapist. I'm just going to share with you my experience with emotional neglect and the things that I've learned along the way to help you take the first step towards healing. Now, first off, what is emotional neglect and why does it happen? By definition, childhood emotional neglect is a form of abuse that can include one or more of the following: failure to provide adequate supervision, healthcare, clothing, or housing, as well as other physical, emotional, social, educational, or safety needs. Now, emotional neglect can have many different forms as an adult. You may feel neglected by your partner because they don't listen to you or have no interest in you as a person. Or it could be a feeling of emptiness in your friend group because nobody actually cares how you feel, and they're too self-absorbed to stop talking about themselves. Or it can be a projection of not feeling heard, understood, or loved, which has nothing to do with the present moment and the interactions you have with other people, and may be happening just because you haven't healed the neglect trauma from the past. Whatever the case may be, childhood emotional neglect happens when a parent or a caregiver wants too much from a child and neglects their actual feelings. It may happen because they're working too much and have no time to take care of the child. Or perhaps they have narcissistic tendencies and the child is seen as an extension of themselves. The child is not fully allowed to have their needs met or feelings expressed. So how do we move on from this trauma and not let it interfere with our relationships with others now as an adult? My first tip is to become aware of your self-talk. Notice that I'm not saying you need to get rid of it. I'm just saying to become more aware, like an observer, a curious scientist that looks into your thoughts and says, that's interesting. Instead of experiencing self-blame or trying to change your thoughts. Trust me, I've done that and it's gonna drive you absolutely insane. Instead of trying to control, suppress, or run away from negative thoughts and feelings, try to detach yourself a little and see what this self-talk is all about. Ask yourself introspective questions such as, why do I feel this way? Is there a situation in the past where I felt like that? Who talked to me in such a condescending way? And the hardest question to answer, is the voice of my negative self-talk actually the voice of someone else? A parent, caregiver, teacher, or someone that hurt me really bad in the past? Now, one of my favorite tools I use with my clients who struggle with emotional neglect or low self-esteem is the Automatic Thought Record tool. It helps you track your negative thoughts, the feelings that arise, and the behavior that you engage in as a result. The long-term goal is to become more aware of these deeply seated beliefs and substitute them with healthier alternatives. I've made a free downloadable copy of the Automatic Thought Record tool so that you can download it and use it right away. Click the first link in the description or visit bit.ly/thoughtrecordtool. My next tip is to turn off all of your electronic devices for a day. You're not gonna like this one and maybe you won't even try it. But my recommendation is to at least give it a shot for a few hours and see what comes up. Remember the whole being a scientist thing and observing yourself from a distance? This experiment will do just that. When you sit with yourself for a day, thoughts and feelings that you've tried to run away from will definitely arise, but you will write them down in your printed out version of the Automatic Thought Record tool or just on a plain piece of paper. Write down as much as you can. Observe yourself. If any uncomfortable feelings arise, sit with them, let them out. You may have suppressed your anger towards a loved one or a feeling of sadness masked by emptiness. You're not empty. You just may feel numb after so many years of not being able to express your needs in a safe environment. That's okay. That's completely normal. I want you to know that no matter how bad it feels, it will go away. You just have to trust the process and soothe yourself if you feel sad, angry, lonely, or afraid. Now, my next tip is to get to know yourself better. If you've struggled with emotional neglect as a child, you may have focused all of your energy on getting your parents' attention, or you may have not developed a healthy way to look after yourself. When you're desperate for any ounce of love that you can get from the person who's supposed to love you the most, you start thinking that there's something wrong with you, just because you don't feel loved. You crave love. You would do anything for love. Maybe you're still trying to please everyone around you, or at least your romantic partner, but it's still not good enough. Why? Because you're seeking love outside of yourself. You're looking for someone else to tell you that you're beautiful, smart, and you deserve love. Now, it's time to learn how to rely on yourself and provide yourself with all the love, care, and attention that you desperately need from others. By getting to know yourself better, you will start seeing the little quirks that make you, you. You won't immediately start loving yourself. You may not even like yourself at first, but in time, you will start seeing that you have so much to offer. You are enough as you are, and you deserve to be loved not because of your achievements or the things that you do for others, but because you simply are. We all deserve love. We all deserve to be happy, and we all deserve the right to live. So the question is, how do we begin getting to know ourselves better? This is a very broad topic, and I'm not going to be covering it in this episode. I've dedicated an entire video on developing confidence and learning how to take better care of yourself. So if you're interested in that, just visit youtube.com/coachsimona or simply click the link in the description. My next tip is to focus on helping others. If you're too invested in your storyline of being a victim, being neglected, being someone who hasn't received love, attention, or affection, you're constantly reinforcing this identity. So the best way to stop feeling like a victim is to start genuinely caring about other people. I'm not talking about doing something for someone to get their gratitude or validation. I'm talking about donating to charities or helping a friend in need without asking for anything in return. Do something kind for someone else and you will detach yourself from the drama that you're creating in your mind. Besides, when you feel neglected, that is the quickest and easiest way to connect. And remember that you're not alone on this planet, and there is help out there. By helping someone else, you will also affirm to yourself that you're a worthy, kind person who may feel a little lost, but is contributing to the collective consciousness and lifting others along the way. My fifth tip is to take care of your own emotional needs. When you feel neglected or triggered by something from your past, it's often because you have neglected yourself. If you're too focused on pleasing, begging for attention, or trying to get someone to like you or understand you, you're wasting precious time and energy. I want you to take all of that love that you're desperately trying to give to someone else and give it to yourself. You deserve to pamper yourself. You deserve to feel fulfilled. You deserve to take care of your needs and put yourself first in a relationship. You deserve to be your number one priority. So if you're waiting for permission to take care of yourself, this is it. This is your sign to do something kind for yourself right now. Think of a way to take better care of yourself today. It may be to listen to relaxing music while taking a bath, or to spend less time on social media, or maybe curl up on the sofa with a book instead of working late. Whatever that is, take a little bit of time and think of something. And if you want a detailed explanation on how to take care of your own emotional needs, just listen to episode 38. I will link it below. Now, I know that you can't change the past, but the choices you make today will change the way your future unfolds. So choose wisely. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss out on my weekly podcast episodes. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in the next one.